got so motherfucking design on right now. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. I got 3 old thoughts on the block.
Yes, Your Honor. We're here today for sentencing in the matter of the State of Ohio versus Frankie T. Molnar, case number CR 25 CR 629. Mr. Molnar is present today in open court with his attorney, Mr. Bill Watson. At the last proceeding, which was held on June 10th of 2025, defendant pled guilty to 1 count, that being failure to comply with the order or signal of a police officer, an F3 under 2921.331B. Your Honor accepted the plea and ordered that the defendant undergo evaluations, specifically a PSR and a psych evaluation. We have read the report, Your Honor. We are ready to proceed with sentencing. There is no prior agreement between the parties as to sentencing. We would add that there are apparently 86 days of jail time served, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Watson.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. I'll cut to the chase, Your Honor. Mr. Molnar's got quite a history, specifically a long traffic history. I knew it was not good, and I just learned prior to this hearing that it's even worse than I thought. Mr. Molnar, on this particular day, got scared. I believe at the time there was a warrant out of Chardon, and he obviously doesn't have a valid driver's license, and so he took off. However, he came to his senses. I believe he turned himself in.
No, he didn't come to his senses.
Well, Your Honor,
If he came to his senses, he would have stopped the goddamn car.
Well, I agree with you there, Your Honor, and I think Mr. Molnar realizes that now, especially after sitting in jail for the past almost 3 months. I've had, an opportunity to talk to Mr. Molnar, and all I can say, Your Honor, is he has expressed to me that he is remorseful for what he did. He knows he's been struggling, not only with a place to live, but with work. And he knows that he has done better for himself in a more structured environment, specifically treatment facilities, inpatient treatment facilities, where he can focus on himself, his mental health, and ultimately his addiction to drugs. I know, based on his history, that there's probably little reason for the court to consider anything like that, but I'm hoping the court will take into account that he took responsibility immediately for this case. He is remorseful. You're going to hear from him in just a minute, Your Honor. He wrote a letter, and the fact that he wants to go back into a treatment program. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, what do you want to say?
Your Honor, I'm sorry I made a bad decision by not stopping for the police officer that day, and if I could go back to that day, I would have stopped. At that time in my life, I was living in my car struggling with drug addiction. About 2 to 3 weeks after I made that bad decision, I called to get some help with drugs and completed 2 treatment programs and was on my way to get into sober living, but decided it was best if I turned myself in on my warrants. I'm asking if I could please not go to prison and possibly go back to treatment and sober living so I could build more sober support in AA and NA and get back on my feet. Thank you, Your Honor.
Where were you going at 3:56 in the morning?
To Sheets gas station in Bishop Road, and
That's where you were when the cops saw you.
yeah.
Where were you going?
When I left her, I was going to Cleveland
For what?
to sell some of the stuff that I stole from the store
What store?
at the Sheets.
What'd you steal?
Some candy bars.
You're going to sell candy bars in Cleveland?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where's the hot market for candy bars in Cleveland at 4 in the morning?
Any stores that are open?
So you sell stolen shit to stores?
I was at that time for my drug addiction, yes, Your Honor.
How much you get for a candy bar?
I mean, you get like $3 for $1, to be honest with you.
What do they do with them?
Resell them.
How do they make a profit on stolen property like that, at that price?
I don't know. Your Honor.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, I'm just being honest with you.
When's the last time you had a license?
I thought I had one at the incident. It must have been suspended because of my warrant that I had for a probation violation in,
How many times has
Sorry.
your license been suspended?
probably like 5 or 6, I think. I've retaken the test.
Through 8/15 of 23, you have 63 traffic offenses. How is that even possible?
Your Honor, I do construction work usually, so I was doing a lot of driving and I had a bad habit of speeding. So I had a lot of 12-point where I had to do the remedial courses to keep my driver's license.
How fast were you going to get away from the cops here in Willoughby Hills?
I remember the fastest, he didn't chase me that far. I think he got my plate and then he backed up. I think I was up to like 60 miles an hour in a 35, I think. I don't know, because I had my, to be honest with you, I had my lights off.
You turned your lights off?
Yeah.
So you took off from them on June 27th.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is too much shit to keep track of.
Your Honor, I was in treatment for like 7 months too. After, like a couple weeks after, 2 or 3 weeks after that incident, I went to treatment. I was
Where?
Sky Point Recovery in Akron.
What do you got on that, Jennifer?
I did receive records back from Sky Point.
And what does that show?
And last year, on July 18th of this year, he completed a PHP and IOP program.
And then on 7 days before you completed that, you committed a theft in Cleveland Heights. What was that?
That was the same scenario. I know I have a warrant for them I need to take care of.
Well, I know you do, but why were you committing a theft after you just spent how many months in
Oh,
treatment?
no, that was before.
Oh, I see. I can't keep track of you.
I'm sorry, sir, Your Honor.
All right, so it's 2 weeks after this Willoughby Hills that you're committing a theft. What were you stealing?
Well, the one was 2024, and I got out January 2025 out of Sky Point. And I actually went to New Day, too, for a month. I had nowhere to go. So I went to another treatment center after that. But it was June of 2024 is when this offense happened.
I know. And then July 11th is when the next one happened in Cleveland Heights.
July 11th, I wasn't even, that's impossible.
I don't know. Why do you have a warrant out then?
I didn't have a car or anything at that time in July 11th. That's probably when they issued the warrant. Maybe they.
Date of offense, July 11th of 24. Cleveland Heights Police theft.
Oh, it's 24? Yeah, because it's 25, yeah. I went in July something in the Sky Point. Those dates are, gotta be wrong.
September, according to their records.
No, it's not right. I went in July, oh, wait a second. No, July 21st, I was in Sky Point, all the way to January. That's, swear to God, that's what, the record's gotta be wrong, Your Honor.
What happened in Cleveland Heights? What did you do in Cleveland
I
Heights?
took some laundry detergent. But that was before I went to treatment.
I understand.
Yes, Your Honor.
So what did you do between July 11th when you stole that time and then ran from the cops and September when you went into Sky Point?
I was living in my car using drugs. I went to work a little bit at Shake Pro Solutions off of Lee Road, 4500 Lee Road. That's where my job's been since 2014. But when my addiction got really bad, I couldn't even go to work anymore. So that's when I was doing anything to support my addiction.
So now you went to Sky Point, you're all cured.
No, I mean, I don't think I'm cured. I think I need daily maintenance, Your Honor. As far as going to AA and NA, I do have some support group, trying to build a bigger one. I don't want to go back to living that life ever again.
Where'd you go after you left New Day on April 1st? Or after you left there?
I turned myself in. No, I went to, yeah, I turned myself in.
All right, you left Sky Point January 18th.
Yeah.
You entered New Day on April 1st.
Yeah.
What were you doing between January 18th and April 1st?
I stayed in a motel because I was working at McDonald's part-time when I was at Sky Point, and the money that I saved, they couldn't find sober living for me. So I was waiting for a bed and I never got one. So for 4 weeks I stayed in a motel, spending $400 a week, burned through all my money, and then I was gonna turn myself in, but I was scared to because I didn't want to go back to jail. So I went to Ashtabula and I ended up relapsing for about 3 weeks. And then that's when I went to New Day. And I went to New Day, and they put me in a PHP program, and I figured I left out of that program too. I finished the New Day, the 30-day residential, but then when I went to their PHP, I figured I didn't need it again. I needed to turn myself in on my warrants.
Why did you figure you didn't need it again? And
I mean,
weren't you just coming off a relapse?
Yes, Your Honor, but I did the 30 days at New Day, and I just was sober for 6 months. So that's my thinking.
Well, you weren't sober for 6 months.
At Sky Point, I was there for 6
Okay.
months.
All right, and you got out and you started doing drugs again.
After, yeah, because I had nowhere to go. I had no place to live. Either turn myself into jail or go back into a bad situation, Your Honor. And I chose the wrong thing, going into a bad situation, but then I put myself back into treatment. And my thought was to go to get into sober living, to try to get a lawyer and take care of my charges that I had. But then I decided I think it was more important just to turn myself in once I finished the 30-day residential, Your Honor.
I mean, what do you expect here? What do you expect from me?
I mean, I was hoping to get another chance and get probation and go to treatment, or just get probation and go to treatment on my own.
You never show up anywhere you're supposed to be. How can you be on probation if you never show up anywhere you're supposed to be?
I mean, I was on probation in Cleveland. I showed up every
Shit,
time.
that's like, I mean, you know, an untrained monkey can finish probation in Cleveland.
Yes, Your Honor.
He couldn't do it in Chardon. Why not?
I wasn't on long because I was in treatment, and they weren't sending the paperwork. They fired my caseworker, Your Honor, because he wasn't sending paperwork saying where I was at.
Who was on probation in Chardon?
I'm on probation in Chardon.
You were the caseworker.
Yes, Your Honor, but we weren't allowed to have phones or anything at that time. He was supposed to be taking care of my case for me.
Whose case is it?
Mine, Your Honor.
Okay. How old are you?
Unfortunately, I'm 51, Your Honor.
So, where are these stores you like to sell stolen stuff to in Cleveland?
In East Cleveland,
What stores?
there's a couple convenience on Euclid Avenue.
What's their name?
The one was the Pantry, and the other one, I'm not sure the name. It's just a convenient. It's a small, like, family-owned store.
Why didn't you show up in Burrito Court?
Because I was in treatment, Your Honor.
Did you tell them you couldn't come to court because you were in treatment?
No, again, Your Honor, I know it was my responsibility, but I was dependent on what they were telling me at the treatment program, so no, Your Honor. Your Honor, I did write letters to everybody where I was at, though. I got copies of them, I think was sent to you, I don't know if they were faxed to her. It was
Who?
with the treatment, the lady back here.
Who's she?
I don't tell my dad, did you send those papers?
No, who's the lady in the back?
She's the one that had the treatment records.
I don't know, what's her name?
I don't know, honestly, I'm sorry.
Well, you got through probation pretty easy in Summit County, right?
Yes, Your Honor, that's one place at Sky Point, because it was in Akron, that was easy to deal with.
I mean, they tied you up on probation for like 6 months
Yes, Your Honor.
without conditions.
Well, when I was in treatment, I just had to call and do video Zoom, Your Honor. So I seen him once a month on video Zoom and by phone. They didn't make me report, and they sent over all the clean urines and stuff that I had to him.
Mr. Tavanche?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant has a string of felonies since 2008, a host of misdemeanors since the early 1990s, involving dishonesty, also involving violence toward others, and of course the huge list of traffic violations. More concerning perhaps is his handful of PVs, one of which led him to prison. He's received lots of chances, Your Honor. In fact, he's currently got, I think, at least 3 warrants out, and he was actually out on a warrant when he committed this offense. Another thing to consider, that I asked the court to consider, is that he has a prior conviction for the same behavior for which he's being sentenced today. This was a flee and elude in a motor vehicle, 1992. Yes, it was a while ago, but it's still there, and it's, again, for the same behavior there that he pled to already. We would ask that the court consider that history, as well as the long 12 pages or so of traffic history, when considering the driver's license suspension, Your Honor, if the court decides to go the probation route. With regard to this case, Your Honor, defendant ran a stop sign to begin with. Cops were behind him, he runs a stop sign, and he drives down Chardon at 73 miles per hour, about twice, at least twice the speed limit, Your Honor, not 60, 73. He speeds at least twice through flashing yellow lights. So he's going through intersections, splitting traffic, a couple of times, again, yellow lights, and in doing so, in he's splitting traffic, he's driving through the center lane, which are for turning, and of course, as he goes through intersection, driving into the oncoming turning lane. It's just, you know, by the grace of whomever, that nobody was there. And it wasn't worse than it is. And he has his lights off at this time. So after all this, the defendant actually does downplay the chase. He said it wasn't a bad chase, but it was, and it was serious enough
What
so
does that mean, it wasn't a bad chase? What do you mean by
Your
that?
Honor, I didn't mean it was a bad chase. I meant it didn't go for far. I drove up the street maybe a mile and he shut his lights off. I was getting ready to
I mean,
pull over. and I
I'm
was
using
like,
your
whoa.
words, wasn't a bad chase. So that's
I'm
how
sorry
you
to-
define wasn't a bad chase?
No, Your Honor, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it to sound that way. Any chase is bad. Somebody could have pulled out the driveway. Anything bad could have happened, and thank God it didn't. And again, I apologize. I would
Yeah,
never do
I
it
mean,
again.
you wouldn't need to thank God if nothing happened, if you weren't running around going twice the speed limit at 4 in the morning with your lights off. You wouldn't need to thank God.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you would start acting like a responsible person, then you wouldn't need to thank God for it. Go ahead, Mr. Demonte.
Thank you, Your Honor. The chase didn't last for a long time, but he did a lot in those short moments, Your Honor, as I've already indicated. It was serious enough so that officers who were engaging him tried to deploy spike strips to stop his vehicle, but they weren't able to do that because he was going just way too fast. In fact, he just drove right by the officer that was attempting to do that. Eventually, of course, the officers have to end the pursuit for safety reasons. For all these reasons, Your Honor, yes, there's no doubt, I think, that defendant has a drug problem, a mental health problem, and that maybe he needs help, but he's been giving a lot of chances. He seems to have completed only one program, although he seems to have been enrolled in several. As I've said, Your Honor, he's been to prison. He committed this while out on a warrant. Our recommendation, Your Honor, would be prison, although we would understand the court's decision if the court were to actually rule that NeoCap would be the better route. Thank you.
All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report and the psychological evaluation. I've considered the provisions of 29, 11, 12, and 13. Listen to counsel, listen to the defendant. You don't have 63 traffic violations because you work construction and you drive a lot. You have 63 traffic violations because you don't give a shit about anybody but yourself. You have a failure to comply because you don't give a shit about anybody but yourself. That's why you have those things. So you've come to be 51 years old and you don't give a shit about anybody but yourself. I'm going to put you on community control for 5 years, 180 days in jail, credit 86. The last 30, you're going to be in the jail treatment program. Even though you've completed a program, you're going to do another one. Follow the recommendations. Then you're going to go to NeoCap. Complete it and follow the recommendations. Then you're going to go to a sober living facility for a minimum of 6 months and complete that program. You're going to have no drugs or alcohol and you'll be screened. You're going to have only one doctor and one dentist and one pharmacy for prescription medication. You're going to take your medication as prescribed. You're going to sign releases for probation. You're going to get a mental health evaluation, follow all recommendations. You're going to attend at least 4 AA or NA meetings a week and get a sponsor. You're going to obtain and maintain full employment, complete the decision points program, and pay the cost and supervision fees. Any other terms, Ms. Knaus?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You understand all the terms?
Yes. Yes, if you understand all the terms.
Yes, Your Honor, is that 6 months in jail and then the last 30 is jail treatment? You ought to get time served for,
You got credit for time, sir.
so I got 3 more months in here?
Approximately.
Well, we could do something else. You want to do something else?
No, Your Honor.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Because you seem a little pissed off that you got more time. So
Because
we
I'm
can do
going
something else.
crazy. I'm not getting no mental help,
Okay.
Your Honor, in the
Okay.
jail. I'm
Okay,
going crazy
so we
being
should-
in this
So
jail.
we should do something else.
No, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Okay, then what are you bitching about?
I'm just upset, I'm sorry.
You're upset. I'm upset. I'm upset that you got 63 goddamn traffic violations and you're running from the cops at 4 in the morning because you're stealing fucking candy bars. I'm upset. You're upset? You're upset at me or are you upset at you?
At me, Your Honor,
Okay.
for sure at me.
So, let me continue on. Do you understand all the terms?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. If you don't comply with the terms, and you seem very unlikely to comply with the terms at this point, then the state will file a motion to terminate your community control, and if I find you violated, I'll terminate it, and then we'll just send you to prison for 36 months. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt your daily routine like this.
No, that's not you, Your Honor, it's me.
10-year license suspension.
10 years?
10 years to the date of the offense. 10 years. Now he's pissed off about that. He's pissed off about that now. Guy's got 63 traffic violations.
Your
And
Honor,
you're
I've been
pissed
punished
off
for those.
that you're running from the cops at 4 in the morning, going twice the speed limit, and you don't think anything should happen.
Yes, Your Honor, I do. I've just been punished for all them 63 ones, though.
I don't know.
I paid a lot of
I
money.
don't, the longer I'm here, the less I understand about people.
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, what I should do is I should make it a lifetime. That's what I should do.
Please don't, Your Honor.
But I didn't.
I
You're
thought it
trying
was
to-
3
You're
years.
trying to talk me into a lifetime. Anything else?
Question, Your Honor, anything with regard to PRC?
Well, not until I sentence him to prison after he fails.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Watson?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Funny.
What?
That's funny.
That's funny. You want, hey, we're not done yet. Is there something else you want to try for?
No, sir. No, Your Honor.
Well, what was so funny?
I mean, I don't know, this guy never did nothing to him. He made it sound like it was like I tried killing somebody, like I committed murder.
Well, you know, that's kind of like the guy that was driving down Route 2 in June of 2018 and hit a cop and killed him.
How am I supposed to have a job without a driver's license for 10 years?
Whose problem is that?
I know.
Why
Doesn't
don't you
matter.
find?
That's why I'll fail.
Why don't you fail if you want to fail?
I don't want to fail, no.
Well, then don't. You know what those big buses are?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. Get them out.